What's up, what's down? Tell me something going round. Let's discuss the light of day. Spitting truth, come with me. What's up, what's down? Nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way. Always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack, baby things. Hero Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah. Hero Shack, daily things.
Come on and read free. read free.
What's up, what's down? Tell me something going round. Let's discuss the light of day. Spitting truth, come with me. What's up, what's down? Nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way. Always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack, baby things. Hero Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah. Hero Shack, daily things. Here we go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hero Shack Daily Things, episode 35. We are without Diana tonight, so I'm going to share the link if anybody wants to join. Meanwhile, I wanted to show you guys real quick, because I know Tim really appreciated that music video. But I figured I'd show what the boys look like in the day, because they were definitely glam. I mean, this is that's them there. They weren't as bad as Poison or anything like that, but they were pretty close. But I did dig that song. Always have it. It kind of speaks to me because, you know, it's like a gospel thing. The love of money is the root of all evil. Hey, I dig the old time stuff. I got in an argument the other day with a guy about classic X-Men. He was citing X-Men from 2001 and 2016 as classic. And I was like, son? Because my classic were, you know, the Cockrum revival of the X-Men. And before that, it was the original X-Men. So, yeah. All right, I'll be up around 7, I bet. Unless I stream like all night, which I don't intend on doing. I'm already doubting the wisdom of this as I have psycho cats working at my door. I left it like 6 inches open and they're still managing to get it closed, and they are still kittens. So today, man, I did more drawings. I'm working right now on the cover of part 8 and working on.
No, I don't know about no Bullet Boys, but I do know there's a band called the Dead Boys.
The Bullet Boys had that cover hit, and they did a song called "Smooth Up in You," which you would have hated.
It sounds like some. I can't say that word, but yeah, it sounds like one of those.
It was the genre, you know. And
I'm sure it'd have a different connotation if they were in prison.
Yeah, but they were not scoring boys on tour. They were definitely, how shall we say it politely, heterosexual.
They were giving out syphilis as if it were a gift.
Well, that was the glam rock scene.
You get syphilis, and you get syphilis, and you get syphilis.
And on occasion, we have gonorrhea as a bonus. Now, you know, the one thing that scared the hell out of me really was crabs. Because that stuff, oh my gosh.
They always were eating at Long John Silver's.
It was a good time though. You know, when I grew up, I remember like Shut at the Devil when it came out.
Oh God!
And
barf.
Well, it was actually before I discovered things like Megadeth, Metallica, and Slayer. So to me, it was the next step from Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath. I was like, ooh, Shut at the Devil.
Instead of Shut at the Devil, it's like, look at those homos. I'm sorry. The idea that they have to look like women to get women is like, so
but
you're
see, I never
transgendered.
I never saw it as looking like women. I just saw it as being like an extension of rock.
They wore girly clothing and put on makeup.
Yeah, you guys criticizing don't understand what they got in return for that.
Yeah,
The
a
women
bunch
that
of
drop that
hoes.
they're yeah, but you know what? That makes you feel mighty masculine, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, I got genital warts. Awesome, I'm a man now.
It is
It,
what it is, though.
it
You know.
burns when I pee. Yay!
I don't know. Have you ever gotten laid? I mean,
I Yeah, but I haven't gotten
I'm
I
teasing.
haven't gotten an STD.
I'm just telling you, man. That was the generation, man. It was quite a time, and yeah. So like that genre was like it was an active meat market, and like I'm not saying that to endorse it. I'm just saying it because it was like if you were into glam metal and you couldn't get laid, you were having real problems in life. Like there was more going on there than you just were shy. You could turn on a Whitesnake album and just about melt a room. Yeah, look across the room and go, here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. And there'll be three of them talking to you. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, it's harder to do that when you have something like the Misfits,
No, because those type of people
I
we beat
killed
the
your
crap out
mother
of.
today. But I mean, like the guys they're saying, I killed your mother today. And you're like, yeah, so you want to go back to my place? How do you do that with that? You gotta find a chick that when you're in that range, any girl that you pick up is likely gonna be like tougher than you are.
You got, I don't know. That's some of the chicks that were at those shows.
Yeah, no, it's true. Any live show that was, drum based with a good guitar or a decent guitar, yeah,
Yeah.
there was action. There was always action.
There was a lot of
Most 80
shenanigans that
bands
went
have
on.
Poison and Cruise Cinderella makeup in here. So yeah.
There was a
I
lot of
don't know.
shenanigans that went on at punk shows. I caused some of it.
Yeah. Tim, you're not supposed. Well, I guess it's past the. What's the the.
Statute of limitations.
Thank you. Yes. I don't know. The worst thing I ever did at a concert really wasn't that bad. It was defend myself in a mosh pit. Like I never went out looking for elbows, but if
Well,
somebody got me
you
done
gotta throw
nasty, I would.
elbows.
Yeah, but I mean, if somebody got me wrong, yeah, I'm going to come back around and get you. If I'm
The
coming
thing I
around and I'm
never
taking.
did, the thing I never did was stage dive because I always thought if I did that, what are the odds that people are going to move to the side of my hip? I'll land
Yeah,
square on my back.
I was never stage diving either. I thought, no thanks. That's how
Yeah.
you go home with a concussion, It's like, what the fuck? Yo, I
No,
jumped off the stage.
I just had to worry about getting hit in the head by a bunch of elbows and in the back.
Yeah, well, you never know. Yeah, you never know how they're going to receive you. Like you might flatten one guy's girlfriend, and everybody decides it's time to kick your ass. It's like, oh great, yeah. That was smart. Let's try that again.
I think I went to see, was it the Real Mackenzies in Bremerton, and it was at the Legion Hall, and I went down. There's a bar downstairs, and they were playing upstairs. I didn't know that, so I went downstairs by accident, and there's a bunch of these crusty dudes down there, and they look at me, and they're like, "Are you 21?" I'm like, "No." They get the fuck upstairs. It's like, oh, okay. But my friend, a friend of mine had a shirt that said, "I learned it from lesbians," and we were just kind of hanging out. And Paul McKenzie comes over and starts talking to us, and I've never heard such a thick Scottish accent because they're from Nova Scotia, Canada.
Right.
And there's a lot of Scots up there, and I'm just staring at him because I couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying. And something about he wasn't going to be one of his girlfriend's dykes, and he sounded like he was drinking too because his speech was slurred. So he got pissed at us because we just stared at him.
Well, you didn't give him no gonorrhea or nothing. He had to kick you out.
Why would I want? What is wrong with you, man?
I don't know, man. It's the rock and roll thing. I'm like, he's backstage. He's probably like, yo, get out of here, man.
There's nothing more rock and roll. There's nothing more rock and roll than
gonorrhea, man. That was a key component.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know, man. Did you ever play in any bands?
No, we kind of messed around with shit, but we never did anything really.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I joined one glam metal band, and I was a member for about 3 months. We were rehearsing and everything,
Oh,
and
jeez.
like just before our first gig, like 2 nights before it, the drummer comes at me with the bass player and the singer, and they start talking about wife swapping, and I was like, you know what? I'm going back to the thrash band. Fuck you guys. And I quit right there. I was like, that no, I'm not doing that, because it was just that's the way the lifestyle was. So believe it or not, I went back to Toe Jam, the thrash band, and like it was no issue. Nobody was trying to wipe swap there. It's like, what the hell?
No. What was it? Somebody described thrash as the energy of punk, but with the competency of Black Sabbath and Motorhead.
Well, and yeah, but thrash also got a lot of the guitarists that wanted to do intricate melodies and stuff. Like a lot of thrash solos and stuff. God, the guys were just ripping it. But they were like, like instead of going to glam or the Eddie Van Halen style, they kind of just went and blazed it to thumping tracks that were just. I mean, how can you not want to play a solo to like thrash metal? It's. It was always my favorite to play too.
Yeah,
But it was hard to find good singers in thrash.
I
I thought
think
a lot of them were like failed.
the best Metallica show ever I saw on was San Diego 1992. That was
Do
the
you
that
remember
was,
what tour that was?
I have no idea. I was on a Binge and Purge CD.
Ah, I saw them on the Injustice for All tour, and it was really good. I mean, it was before like Enter Sandman and shit, so they had good stuff like throughout most of the set. I don't know. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I don't remember who opened for him, but I think it was like some metal band I hadn't heard of, but they were thrashy. And Metallica just. Oh no! Wait a minute. I think that was Anthrax that opened for him.
Yeah.
And they were okay. I don't know if you remember Anthrax.
I know who Anthrax is.
Yeah, they actually probably crossed over to punk more than any other thrash band, even though they weren't really punk.
Yeah, they did that Soldiers of Death.
I liked them. I mean, there were a couple of bands that were kind of on the edge of being successful, and they were one of them. Flotsam and Jetsam was another one. Overkill, but Overkill kind of made it in Europe, and they were kind of hot here too. So I don't know. When I saw them, it was in a club though. It was like a big pit in the middle of a dance floor, like 500 people in the whole club.
Yeah. I just mostly went to a lot of like small shows.
Where'd you grow up?
Well, in Bremerton.
Like, is that in Alabama?
No, it's in Washington.
Oh, all right. You're a West Coast guy.
Yeah. Everybody.
How did you miss Glenn? Well, you're like what, 10 years younger than me?
Yeah.
So it might have been the matter of like, not only did you like punk, but I think glam might have even been almost dead by the time you were.
Oh yeah, that stuff was like butt rock.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Was Nirvana out when you started getting into music, or was it?
I had missed the boat by 2 years, but I think it was Brandon White, a good friend of mine, brought over Nevermind and Unplugged in New York, and I loved it. And he goes, "Dude, you don't know Kurt's dead." It's like,
oh, you heard him after he died. Oh.
Yeah. So I started looking up all the Nirvana stuff I could, and
yeah, I got to tell you that 80s were totally different. Like back then, it was really like thrash metal and even Metallica was really frowned upon. Like it was looked at like garbage metal at first. And we had been fed like Eddie Van Halen was the god of guitars, and Randy Rhoads would have beaten him had he stayed alive. Like there was a bunch of lore, and bands just started like kind of like in rap. They just all started sounding the same, and producers wanted to make the money, so they all started making them sound the same.
Yep.
Then it was the image, look more like this, leather and lace. Oh my God. And eyeliner. That was so big back then. But, when Nirvana came along, that's what kind of smashed it, because they were like, that's that whole image thing. We're going out there in freaking flannel shirts and ripped up jeans and messed up hair. And oh yeah, by the way, we're a trio and nobody plays lead. We just kind of go out there and rock.
Yeah.
Nirvana. You gotta kind of love how they did it too, It was just
grunge had been going on in Seattle since the 80s, though, and it's just that Seattle was ignored for like a decade.
I like to think that it's just that Kurt was like uniquely gifted to bring it up.
I mean, Kurt also had a lot of problems too.
Well, that's the thing about like the creatives of the world, and I hate to use that term because it's been so overused in our circles, but creative people usually have, some sort of issues. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what you got in your closet, but mine is kind of wide open. My wife had me examined, and they were like, "Yep, here's autistic." Well, that was Asperger's back then. Now I'm autistic because they took away the term.
Well, it's easy. I'm batshit insane.
You might be, because like there are things about you that I question. I'm like, how does that add up? I don't know. I'm just not going to question too much about it. I'm just going to sit here and laugh a little. But
I think my biggest caper at a show was convincing everybody, helping kick open the AA closet and stealing a bunch of chips.
Anonymous.
Yeah, they had a little closet. And I convinced everybody to start kicking open the door because it was locked.
Yeah, they probably wanted to keep that stuff in
there. My parents never questioned why I had a 6 month and a 3 month sobriety chip in my change jar. Something like that. That was the same show.
They might have figured out and not wanted to know.
Yeah, that was the same show that we were leaving, and I was the only one that saw this girl. You say, "Hey," and I turn around, and she flashes us. I was like, "You guys." And they turn around and she's going. I was like, "I swear I saw her. She was right there."
Yeah, see the thing about the glamour, as weird as it looks, especially looking back, man, that stuff happened. Like, yeah, man, I know it looks really bad but in the day, it was something else.
Well, you'd kind of argue that the women that they were picking up weren't high quality women either. That's why they got syphilis.
But at that time, that wasn't that big of a deal. Like the big deal was, I remember when AIDS started to really hit, and it was treated strictly as a homosexual thing. And for like a year, 2 years, it was like, it was weird because like sex almost ramped up. Like it was almost like heterosexuals were kind of trying to be bold, like they can do what they want because it didn't affect them. And then, of course, science came through and said, "Oh, by the way, yeah, you can get it too." And then everybody started to panic, and things started to change.
Uh-huh.
The condom industry was suddenly making money again, which was bizarre because I don't think most people actually used them or used them properly. It's like, okay, guys, talk about a country that didn't know what they were doing.
I'm surprised they didn't quarantine everybody. That seems to be the go-to answer nowadays when they don't understand something.
Well, now, yeah, but that that's hard to explain. I don't really know what happened there yet, and I may never know. But it's one of those things in history where I hope people will discover whatever it was, because I think there was a lot more to it than what we've been told, obviously, and I just don't know if we'll ever know what it was.
Well, now it's treatable, so it's not a big deal anymore.
Well, like, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't know how sensitive the algorithms are to it. But for everything we were warned about, there was so little of it, you know. And I go back to like President Biden saying the winter of death is coming for the unvaccinated, and it wasn't.
No, it didn't happen, did it?
No, and it's like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Or how about if you get vaccinated, you won't get the disease?
Yeah. Oh no,
Okay.
you'll get it, but you won't get it that bad. And also, yeah.
No, that's what came out after
That's
it
what I'm
was
saying.
exposed that he was. Yeah, first they were saying you won't get it. Then once it happened, it was like, well, if you didn't have it, you might have ended up in the hospital. Really? Okay. That makes me want to get. I mean, it's basically the same spiel that you hear about the flu, right? And I never get a flu shot.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I mean,
because every time I tried it in the
it's
past,
just none of these people that support the left ever stop and go, wait a minute. It's kind of funny how it's all of a sudden it just kind of disappeared.
yeah, and what's sad is there are people on the left who think it's still a raging epidemic. Like there are still people who are
I never run
outcasting
into
family.
I never run into them.
No, I don't run into them either, but I see them like on TikTok and Twitter and stuff. And there are still a handful of people out there who are insisting that you should be wearing masks, and they're following all the stats, and they're like, right now there's another surge, it's going to get bad, and it never does. But there's still wackos out there. Like, what the heck? You know,
Yeah.
everybody and their mother is running around without a mask, and there are still people. Although I must admit, I work in school systems, and I still see people with masks there. But I think that's because if they get sick, they put them on, or if they're around students with a cold or whatever. I don't think it's all because of COVID. You know, I think a lot of it's just they figure, well, if the kid's gonna be sneezing, I'm gonna protect myself. I don't know. A lot of people still think that if they get it, it's really life changing. But I've had it like 4 times now, and I don't know. It's not fun, but it's not. You know, obviously, it hasn't killed me. I don't know. Have you had it yet?
I think we all got it when we were in Portland a year or so ago, but as soon as we left Portland, it all went away. So
Yeah. Portland's a dirty place. I shouldn't say that. I've never been there, and I know nothing about it.
Portland sucks.
Does it?
I literally stepped out of a transit. I was at one of those train things that go all through the town. Turned my head to the left and saw 2 homeless people getting busy in front of everyone.
Like
Let me just
you mean
say-
like they were cleaning up trash or something?
No,
know-
I'm talking
I know what
about
you mean.
one had stuck his hand down her pants, and they were all ugly as shit. And I'm like, I wish I didn't see that.
Oh,
I really wish I didn't see that.
yeah, it's
I wanted
that's never good.
I wanted kerosene for my eyeballs, kind of burn my eyeballs out.
Well, you know, Mother Nature. I don't know how do you excuse something like that. You really can't. It's like, it's easy.
Yeah, I tell you, I think Portland should be burned to the ground in Minecraft.
Portland was the one with the zone, right? They tried to claim a neighborhood as a
No, that was
autonomous zone or something.
Seattle. That was
Seattle, sorry.
Seattle. That was Seattle. Seattle had a chop
Gotcha.
zone. Yeah,
Yeah.
Seattle PD don't have any balls. They tried to do that somewhere else in the United States, and the cops just as soon as they put up a barricade, they just kind of tore it down and said, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, that should be the response. It's unreal that they let that go on as long as they did.
The city of Seattle gave them the barricades to put up.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, because they were like all. It was almost like they were complying. You know, okay, guys, this is how you want to do it. You want to burn down our police station too? That's okay. All these local businesses, don't worry, they have insurance. That was the thing we kept hearing. I don't know if you did, but that's what
I did. Yeah,
they
that's
have insurance.
No, they can't all afford it, dummy.
Well, even if they do have insurance, I'm like, so what? Like, you're still disrupting their income. They're never going to recover all of that money if they can recover it all. I mean,
I would argue that the business owners should legally be allowed to shoot people and not get
yeah,
charged with everything.
yeah, it's like, especially the way things are going in big cities right now, where the police are refusing to answer certain calls, and basically, like they had situations in New York where somebody squats in a open home for 30 days, they're tenants, and then you can't throw them out. People are getting arrested for trying to throw them out. People, homeowners, they find out someone's living in the home that they're trying to rent, and they're like, get out. And the law says, no, you can't do that.
Well, I guess you take the matters into your own hands.
That is exactly what happened, apparently, like a week or two ago. And I guess what happened was the guy said he was visited by two men in the middle of the night, and they explained that they would be back, and he didn't want to be there, and they were being nice tonight. And so he left, and like the press caught wind of it, and he told them, I don't know, he probably called them, but he told them, yeah, they came in and just explained if I was here tonight, I wouldn't want to be. And yeah, he vacated. I was like, yeah, that's probably how it's going to have to be if the police don't do anything. Like, can you imagine?
What's with your microphone?
I don't know. Is it messing up?
It sounds fuzzy.
Let me check something. I'm using headphones, and I wonder if it changed the sound setting. Input. Yeah, I sure did. Let me try this. Is that better? Hello?
Yeah, sounds a little
Oh,
better.
you know what happened? It switched my. Let me try something real quick. It's going to screw it up, but I'll try it anyways. Let me see. So if I go to this, it sounds weird again. Yes, because it changes the microphone and the headphones. All right, hang on. I'll go back to this. And oh wait, did that change my microphone?
I don't know. I just
Hang on, let me do this then. I will go back to, I think it's multi-out device. The audio box and
oh.
I see. I was muted.
Oh, okay. Sound much clearer.
Yeah, I wasn't on the $400 mic. I was on so I was using AirPods, so I didn't have to use the speaker. And hello, Rick, by the way. And when I was using them, it switched to the AirPod microphone, which is suitable for like a quick phone call, but not for broadcast. And I didn't know it was doing that. Every time I tried to switch it back to the microphone, it went back to the AirPods. So now,
Mighty Geeks in the chat. What's up with the new icon?
which new one? Oh, that's just something I drew. So now the iPods are back in here, or AirPods, or whatever they're called. You mean that thing? That's something I drew a while ago. That's a character coming to the Great Cyclopean. I'll give you a guess.
Oh,
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Bad guy.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. And that's like the very first rendition of him. He's been simplified a little bit. Basically, the headdress in the center has been simplified, but there's more hands, and yeah, the rest of him is he's big and bulky.
He gets a little bit more handsy.
Yeah, and I guess if I was to describe his physique, I'd say he's kind of like Thanos. Hey, Tony, God bless and good night, brother. I will try to catch up with you in the morning. He works nights too, so he's got an odd schedule. As they say in Snotty Zone's, schedule, right? They go, schedule.
A schedule? Schedule?
Yeah. Your schedule. I don't know. I'm not doing it right because I don't really use that like vernacular. So it's.
I still think it's funny that
Yeah.
this is the big news, but well, not big news, but the Captain Infinity got his channel struck, and I guess it got deleted. I think it's hilarious.
He has to do what?
His channel got deleted.
Right. Oh, so they did get rid of it.
Yeah.
I saw you posted something, some video or something, right?
I don't think that was me.
Oh, I saw something about him. I still don't know much about the guy, and it's not a memorable thing in my head. So it's funny because you tell me stuff, and I'm like, who?
Well, yeah. I mean, anybody who knows him, ever notice how more quiet the internet? I mean, at least our section of the internet is now. His channel's gone.
No, because I didn't get any stuff.
Yeah. I never had much. He came into my chat every so often. Maybe.
But isn't it funny? Like if they're in your immediate circle, it'll bug the crap out of you, and it feels like it's huge. But like the stuff I heard today was mostly complaints about Eric trying to dog crowdfunding, and it kind of cracked me up. So I said some stuff today trying to provoke stuff, and it didn't really work. Like I called Eric the #1 crowdfunder in indie comics because I know that he likes to claim he's not a crowdfunder. But really, that's what a pre-order is. I'm like, dude, get off your high horse. Okay, so you created your own collection device, but especially with Yaira, and it's like 2 months out, and he's collecting money for pre-orders. It's the same thing. That's what I do. My crowdfunding is pre-orders, so I can just send books out that are already going to be printed anyways. It's like, I don't know. It sounds like crowdfunding. And I don't really care if he's going to knock anybody else. Go ahead.
The thing is, I was just going to say, the quote-unquote crowdfunding, whatever you want to call it, pre-order, it'll determine maybe how many you print, depending on how you print.
Yep, that is for sure. But it also tells you how big your market is and everything. So, like, to act like, I'm sorry, if it's not a matter of like Tim's books, where he's putting them out there, and if you order them, you're going to get them. I'll say within 72 hours. I don't know what the time is, but you'll get them rather quickly. It's shipped around the time that you order it. That is an order. Like, but if
printed and shipped,
I ordered it and they said okay.
We'll say.
Right, but if I order it and Critical Blast sends back an email and says, okay, when it's completed next month, we'll send you a copy. I'm going to be like, what the heck? I just ordered a book, and it's, you know what I mean? It's like, to me,
although like with me after the campaign,
you're going to get that book. What's that?
Yeah, with me now after the campaign, I have extra books. I made sure I ordered extra books. So, if somebody ordered now, they'd get it right away. But, while I'm doing my campaign, it's a couple months.
But you'd save money if you had distribution.
Yeah.
You could, yes.
And, eventually, hopefully once I get a job and get my old hard drive up and running, I'll be able to get my files back, especially the ones I need for my comics, fix those ones for the first couple of issues because I needed some minor fixing. I just need them to, they needed some, fixing.
I hate fixes.
Typo fixings. Well, not typo, but grammar and spelling fixings,
Yeah, there's always tweaks.
But I hadn't. done enough with the files or whatever. I forget what I still needed to do now. But
Well, like when we do the hardcover edition of the Great Cyclopean 1 through 12, there are things that I want to touch up, and I know I said I probably won't, but I probably will end up doing some of it because looking back, I'm like, gosh, that's such an easy fix. I just need to go do that, and I need to do that. There's little things.
yeah,
But why not do them? If I gotta process the files and reformat them for a slightly different size while I'm there, it's like, don't be lazy, just fix it, Chris.
yeah. But once I
I've got
get
the
all that done,
originals.
sorry.
What's that?
I
No,
was just
gonna
gonna
say
say
I've got
once
the
I've got,
originals. We're doing it. Okay, I'll
Okay.
go first.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've got the originals to keep the history of what I did, because that was my intent anyway. So I'll always remember what I did, but I can fix it before I put it out again. Okay, your turn.
Yeah, I was just gonna say once I get once I get those files back and do the fixing that I want, I'm gonna probably do the same thing as Timothy. Go through RJ at least to get them out into like Walmart and Barnes and Noble and stuff like that, so that more places people can find it,
Right.
just randomly, and but I'll still do my crowdfunding, for till I'm making actually some money. Once
Right.
like with Eric type, if I ever got to where Eric, it wouldn't be so much. Some ways there would be pre-order, but not pre-order. Like maybe a subscription, if you will. But I guess you could do it like a shop pre-order or whatever. Like you could say comic shops did pre-ordering or crowd. You know, you know what I mean? Like DC Marvel or the big companies sort of did their crowdfunding, for lack of a better saying, by
Right.
the shops what to print, or not, saying, oh, this is coming out that this time. They didn't really have to do a campaign. They just said, we're having this at this point. How many do you want? I know it's not really crowdfunding, but one could, if we're making the comparison with Eric and what we've been, other people, you could, I guess, in a roundabout way, think of it as crowdfunding, but not in the same way because they don't. I don't think they. I'm not sure whether companies pay till they actually get the product or not, or when it's about to be shipped. Not sure how all that back end stuff works.
Well, really, there's even like two different kinds of crowdfunding because the way I see it, the way that EVS approaches it is you're paying me to develop a comic no matter how long it takes. So if you're throwing into that pan, he's like, okay, you're further paying me to continue making this comic. Whereas other people, like the model that I follow, and I think most people I know actually follow this, is the book is either completed or pretty darn close before we open our campaigns. And we have every intention of meeting the stated delivery date in the campaign.
But
Whereas
how
for him,
badly has that? How badly
what's
has
that?
that bit him in the ass, though?
I think it's what's destroying him right now because the one weakness he has that no matter what he says, he can't get around is, yep, you've been holding on to money for 3-4 years, Ethan. And Eric points that out every time that he gets cornered. And it's true. How's he, Ethan can't deny it. All he can do is say, yep, I'm working on it. He said something tonight that was kind of funny. He said, no one talks about, I think he said my 24 campaigns, and how like only 8 of them are late or something like that. It was, oh no, it was
Well,
bad though.
that's still 8 too many.
Yeah, well, it cracked me up because I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
and it's also a thing is okay, they're late, but it's not. Like I can say my first campaign and my last campaign were a little bit late, but not by much, and part of it my fault, part of it not. The
I
first
think
one it was
it's.
because I couldn't get the money from Indiegogo when I should have. Sorry, Tim.
I think it's kind of the reason why very little has changed for the small amount of time that this type of thing has existed. We haven't taken over the industry at all. We're not even 1% of the industry.
Well, we
Yeah.
might be 1%.
Barely.
No, I don't
But
think.
Be
yeah,
real
you
about it.
I think indie. I think the well, I think it depends what you call an indie too, because a lot of the press, like I've seen breakdowns of it before, and like if you consider Boom Studios, for instance, to be an indie, that's different than what the poll would show. You know, like the survey or whatever. So it kind of depends where you draw the indie line too. Because if Boom is indie, then we definitely have at least 1%.
They would be definitely what do you call that, mid card.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
tempted to call Eric July mainstream. So
No,
Or
more money
even
than most of us.
even Alterna, do you consider them indie or not? You know?
yeah, but I've actually met Peter, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like a bias thing because I know I don't know him, but I know kind of like where he's from and the roots. And I'm like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
not
but
rich, you're not really big, you're not making, you know, he's definitely earning every cent
yeah,
that he makes on those books.
yeah, he's not making DC or Marvel money, sure, but not that they're starting to not make that much money, but he's also putting out, I don't know, what, 10 to 20 books a month, or the
Yeah,
creators that
depending
go
on
through him.
yeah, it's weird. Well, they don't go through him. He signs them.
Yeah,
Like,
well, how you ever want to word it,
well, no, there's a
they,
difference because when he signs them, it's so I don't know all the details, but like I know guys that have been published by him, and they were like
yeah,
employees of him. Like, their IP was their own, but he handled everything else, including their rate and all that. It was a good arrangement, but it was different than what I
yeah,
thought
well,
it was.
yeah, well, that's sort of what I mean. That it's the book is still theirs. They still own their stuff and all that. Compared to like if you're on, Flash, you don't own anything that you do in Flash except for maybe your artwork. But even that DC want for a few months before you get it back so you can sell it or whatever. You know,
You know what's
but
really crazy about that though? They do seem to send royalties to creators. Like if the stuff EBS has created, there's still I don't believe they're under contract to do it. They just send them stuff, I guess, to avoid lawsuits.
No, they are under contract.
To send him
EBS has
royalties.
said, yeah, EBS has said about contracts that he has about royalties and all that for characters that he's created for DC and
That's
other
cool.
creators.
I thought he was just getting it out of the goodness of their heart. So that was a different. I was like, oh, DC, yeah, they're just avoiding laws.
And we lost Tim.
Yeah, I saw that. He probably fell asleep. I mean, we are hitting an hour, so I could probably kill it. It's just I had to come on. It's a daily thing, and I don't know. I'm thinking like when I do late nights, I might do them with a guarantee not to archive or save it, so it can be a wilder show. Like you're there, and if you miss it, oh well, because that might add an edge to it.
Well, the only thing I would just say, private it. That way you have access to the video itself.
Oh, I'll still have access to that. Everything I record gets or everything I make gets recorded on StreamYard.
Okay.
And what happens is like if I don't retrieve anything, which I never do, it rotates it out. So like basically I think there might be 2 months worth of recordings in there. And as I like make a new show, it dumps the old show, like a rotation.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I get
it's
that.
kind of nice. I think I might have used it once to pull down a highlight, but it's like, who's really gonna like? Maybe if I privated it or got rid of it, I might want that archive of it. But otherwise, nobody like I don't know anybody who goes back and watches a stream after like a few hours, or a few days. Once it's like about a week old, unless it's about something controversial.
Well, there are some people that do, because I've had people rewatch my older streams, and then actually, here's something funny. Not on that really, but earlier this week, although they haven't gotten back to me, somebody actually found my campaign on Indiegogo and contact from my website to that, and then contacted me about buying books, because they don't have PayPal, and then
Right.
they said like, okay, is there any other way to pay? And I sent them, you could e-transfer me money. I'm not sure of any other way offhand.
Right.
They haven't got back to me on that. I might try and reach out to them again.
It's funny
But
how the digital world is, because yeah, they can send money digitally a couple of different ways, many ways if if you do it, whatever you want to do. I know
but
with us,
yeah,
we use Square for our sales, like in conventions, and I think I can use it for online transactions, but I haven't implemented anything because I do everything through Fund My Comic.
yeah, I've got to figure out that Square from when I start to get doing conventions again, because it's nice to have that. I think I could have got a few more sales.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. The thing that drives me crazy with it is if you don't have a great Wi-Fi connection, it can become problematic because people stand there and you're making small talk, waiting on the credit card to, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, please
Yeah.
go through, please go through, please go through.
Hey, Outcast. Yeah, it is sort of late night, but Chris has been
What's up,
doing
brother?
Friday nights late.
Yeah, I consider it the Diana free night because she can't make it. Like she was telling me when she heard I was going live, she's like, "Oh no, I'm tired." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing it so late." It's good for her to take a break, though. We
Yeah,
really drive her nuts. She's really not a geek at all. She tries to be,
yeah,
but I'm like, yeah. She gets excited over the next Marvel movie, and I'm like, well, okay, go see it. But don't you want? No, I don't. I don't. Madam Web, no, thank you. No.
yeah. Well, there's something that I get excited about. Madam Web, and definitely I haven't gotten excited about that. I'm probably going to go see it on Tuesday because it's a theater that's fairly close by and cheap. So I'm probably going to see it for like under $10, maybe under
Yeah.
five. I'm not sure. So I don't mind paying $5 to go see it, and I know I'm probably going to hate it.
Well, she remembers the old days. The old days were if she wanted to get, Chris to go out on a date, she'd just go, honey, Thor 2 is out, or, Captain America is out, or, you know what I mean? Like any Marvel movie, I would pretty much be like, yeah, I've already seen it, but let's go. And that all
Yeah,
changed. It's like now it's like, honey, there's a new DC movie coming. Good, you and your girlfriend should go see it. She's like, what? Yeah, no, I could care less about Aquaman. It's made for you, honey. And of course, she really doesn't want to see it. She was just hoping that I'd go, ooh, I've been wanting to see that. I'm like, no, we can wait till it comes on HBO and then we can laugh at it together in the luxury of our own
yeah,
couch.
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm at an hour and 2 minutes, but I started 10 minutes early with the pre-show. Can you think of anything we're neglecting to talk about?
Well, the pre-show doesn't count.
Yeah, no, because it starts before the actual advertised airtime.
Yeah,
But
well,
tonight was cool. I had
even if you started the pre-show exactly at the prescribed time that you say, it still doesn't count.
Oh no, I would count it then. I would be like, no, that's part of the real show. But for me, like I only do it for myself. I watch those to get excited. Like, mostly it's the music videos, and then I'd throw some promos in there. I need to start using some other promos from other people. I like doing that, but I don't really have any
Well,
at hand.
well, they're not exactly promos, but like I said, I've got a whole bunch of
Yeah, but I use
whatchamacallit.
the same kind of music. So if I play all yours and mine together, it's like they're all gonna go, oh, they use the same band. Have you not
Yeah,
noticed that our
I'm just
music
using
sounds
the.
identical? I know because I use the same
No,
thing.
no, no, no. I've got like 10 different versions. The
I know,
songs with
but
10 different,
to me
music.
they sound like
The
they come off
lyrics might be
the
similar,
studio.
but
No, no, not the lyrics. I mean the sounds. Like I hear those
Yeah, but
vocalists.
even the sound is.
I'm like, oh my god, they all sound the same. Like it sounds like we all use like one studio that has like a set of singers and a set of musicians and the same producer. What's up, Tim?
How's it going?
Hey, Tim's back.
Man, we thought we lost you.
Oh, somebody called me on Facebook, so I had to kind of drop out.
Oh shoot, I don't even allow that. People don't. I don't answer internet phone calls because they scare me. I'm like, there was one guy in. Oh boy, sorry, Rick. There was one guy in Canada, and he was like this real fanatical Christian, and like he kept wanting to call me just to, hey, how are you, buddy? I wanted to call you today, and I'm like, I'm at work, bro. What's up? I just want to know what you were reading today in the Bible. And I'm like, okay, you know what, dude?
Okay, that you can get those even in the States too. So those guys.
No, I know, but it just happened to come from Canada. I've had bad luck with Canada, you know. My craziest girlfriend came from Canada. There was one lady that I was trying to help online when I was doing the online ministry, and she turned out to be like this messianic weirdo who, like, they trapped me in a situation where I got in an argument with her leader, and they were like, see, you are not right for the Lord. You are not saved. And I'm like, wait a minute, you came in here and they like talked a bunch of crap, right? And I'm like, and you expect me just to say, the Lord would say, turn the other cheek. And I'm like, but the Lord wouldn't entrap you either. It's what the heck are you talking about, dude? So yeah, I've had bad luck with Canadian religions. In fact, you're the only Canadian I think I like, Rick, that I'm aware of.
Oh, you
and,
liked another Canadian for a while. Unfortunately,
which one?
She's no longer with us.
Oh yes.
My mother.
Yeah, I got it right when you said it. I'm like, oh yeah. Okay. Timothy, do you have a YouTube channel?
No.
What do you mean no?
Well, I mean, not one that I use.
How can you have a book nationally in 4 different stores and not have a YouTube channel?
Well, it's simple. I got distribution through RJ. He just takes care of all that for me.
So RJ has a Melvin channel?
No, he has I have distribution. I just go on shows like I normally would if I was crowdfunding. I'm sorry.
You know what would be good?
I think it's retarded that people want to be YouTube stars instead of what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but you think that Bullet Boys are retarded too. I mean,
I do too. Yes, that's true. I'm not denying that either.
It's not about being YouTube stars. It's about growing an audience.
I want to give you a suggestion because I love you, Tim. Go on the shows that you go on, right? And then just go take like minute-long clips of where you're explaining Melvin and take those clips and throw them on a channel called Melvin that you run and just leave them there and never pay any attention to them, but let them sit there. Because I'm telling you, like, people will go and watch them. Like, they'll just like.
Oh, Outcast was asking me that. I'm sorry, Outcast. I thought it was.
I'm not messing with you, bro. People want your YouTube channel.
I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't know.
You're quite charming, Timothy. They'd like to hear you on your own show some nights.
He's trying to do it.
Yeah, I find my books really interesting, and therefore, by certain standards to some people, I'm quite boring.
But Tim, wouldn't you like to host a show all your own where you never got interrupted?
I suppose so.
Outcast asked me that the other day in one of my comments, and I told him technically you do, because to chat in the chat you have to, but you don't really post much to it. I think there's some old Melvin videos for when you had some crowdfunding.
I think we all need to learn from Eric July and foster a channel of hundreds of thousands individually. We all need to have like different verses, different universes that we market and brand.
Hey, the crossverse.
I want to be called the universe. Does anybody use universe? I just want to be universe. I'm like,
You want to
Join
be the single spoken? You
universe.
want to be the single spoken sentence?
Join the universe. That's one verse. One verse. I wonder what the one verse is.
Second verse, same as the first, just a whole lot louder and a whole lot worse.
Yeah, no, I'm just being stupid because I'm thinking, okay, like the verse would be John 3:16, maybe. Like which verse would it be? Remember the way that I write I equals Psalm? Well, you guys don't know this yet, but he uses a lot of biblical references and verses in his dialogue because he likes to
Yeah.
rip a verse.
You would be the hero verse or the hero shack verse.
I guess I would, or yeah, but I like universe. It's
You're
catchy.
the
Nobody
you,
probably
you're
knows
the
it's so common.
you're the universe of the hero shack.
Yeah, that sounds weird though. I don't know. I've often thought I should probably change the Hero Shack name, and every time I've suggested it, Diana like darts eyes at me and looks for like knives to throw at me and stuff.
Well,
But
it's
I guess
what
it
people
works.
know. I'd say it's what people are knowing you as now, so it's probably not a good idea. But then again, at the same time, like national periodicals did become DC. Timely became Atlas, which became Marvel.
Right.
So
It happens. But like to me, when I made it, I was thinking like Radio Shack, right? Where you could go and get parts of radios and buy actual radios or computers or like I was thinking Hero Shack, a variety of heroes. And now I'm like telling Diana, I want to focus on one title, the Cyclopean, and clear out the table. And I'm like, oh, Hero
yeah,
Shack is kind of becoming like the solo Hero Shack. But he does have, supporting cast. So
yeah. Well, there's other heroes in it, and
I don't
and
understand why
eventually,
these other heroes can't spin off on their own series.
because
yeah.
I am but one man and I can only do so much. Now,
Well,
if we,
that's what I was going to say. Eventually, you might hire people out to do other
yeah, if
books.
the Cyclopean book takes off, like if we were to, be blessed with a $50,000 plus, campaign, I'm sure I could allot money to like do that. But it would be something that I would like hand over to Diana and say, okay, find the talent, and then we'll have a meeting and we'll see what we can put together. Um, I would want to get like a full team though. Like I wouldn't even want to write it. I would do the Eric July thing and say, well, here's the characters. This is what I created. This is the reference points already in the Cyclopean. Give me a story involving this, this, and this, and I want it here at the end of it. Here's point A, and I want you to get to C, and you can do whatever you need to in between.
Although you get final approval.
Of course, but like if like you're like, yeah, at the end of this book, I'd like to have Arctic Blast be a solo hero, whereas at last time we saw him, he was teamed up with Blood Puff. Well, then they have an idea, and I'm like, write whatever you need to, don't kill anybody, and I'll see you at the end of it.
And of course, telling them how many pages they have too.
Well, everybody would have at least 24, but I am, always flexible if the story warrants it because we're independent. We're not locked into that. Like if somebody comes to me and says, hey, it really works better with 26 pages, bro, let's go. What are you even asking? Let's do this. Now the page rate would go up and stuff. Yeah, like Stanley.
Well, actually be a bit different than Stan because Stan did the writing, and the dialogue before and after, and then an artist did something.
What do you mean by before? Because from what I understand,
what I mean is,
tell him an idea, and Jack would put it all together, and then Stan would script it.
Yeah, well, that's I guess what I mean. He came up with the synopsis of the book, what he wanted in it, and then they'd go draw it all out, and then he'd come back and make dialogue for everything after they had all drawn it all out. He didn't do dialogue beforehand, so before they actually draw it out, he comes up with the synopsis. Here, this is Spider-Man is fighting the Rhino, and he's getting a hard time from J. Jonah Jameson or whatever. Go draw it. Come up with 22 pages. Or
And what was I remember hearing in an interview something that I guess drove, maybe it was Dicko. One of them said it drove him crazy because Stan would add dialogue where it wasn't necessary. Like he would tell the reader, now the thing must open the box to get the, and the picture would literally show the thing opening the box, but it's still scripted anyways. Like he was very much like his own creative in that sense. Like he would get it and just kind of take it over, like whatever Jack was thinking.
I did a lot of that. I think a lot of that was done in Canadian Shield 1, and I think there's a little bit that will happen in other ones, but I think I'd get away from that trope. But yeah, I know that trope that you're talking about that Stan did in earlier Marvel comics. The narration box is all over the place.
Yeah.
Saying what's happening in the scene. But then again, if you look, he did it that way, but that was if reading with Mike and probably even reading of myself from DC before that, that was something that they did. They said they had a capture box seeing what was going on in the panel. A lot of times.
Well, that might even be some of that flavor of writing for younger kids, stating the obvious, but I don't think it flies with younger kids so much anymore because they, for all their troubles academically, they read quite well. They may not read academically well, but if they're on the internet and they want to find Five Nights at Freddy's episode, whatever, and they want it to be with the music from such and such, they know enough to get around these browsers and stuff. They type out really fine.
Yeah. Well, also there's the fact that they can get what's going on in the panel easy enough because we're becoming a quote unquote a little bit more visual society, say with all the emojis and all that, for various things. So, everybody's trying to figure out what these emojis stand for half the time, in my opinion. So.
Yeah. Hey, guy. Oh no, I'll ask you guys later in a DM or something. I'm waiting on a book. I didn't get it yet, and I don't think it's been released yet, but I haven't asked anybody else. I sent a message to the creator, and he hasn't responded yet. But I have a feeling it's going to be a while. Hang on. You know what? Can you guys see the private chat in this system? If I send a private message? Okay, hang on.
Yeah, I can. I went over to
All right. You'll know probably better than Tim. There. I don't want to state it publicly because I don't want to make a big
no,
deal.
it has not yet.
Okay, all right. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I think last I heard it was actually being lettered. I'm not sure where it is in the lettering. I can ask him. I think he had somebody handling all that.
No, actually, you know what?
I can ask.
That's fine. If he answers me, that's cool too. But I was just curious. Like, I didn't want it to be a situation where it shipped and I didn't get it, and I didn't know that I didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like,
Joey says the narration boxes are great for noir like comics. The characters would talk about how they're feeling out loud and alone. Yeah. It sort of replaces the thought bubbles.
Which I still love to use, even though I've been told nobody does that anymore. Yeah, I do.
I do. I do deal with it.
I like the thought bubbles.
Yeah. Well, I guess the new way is to use narration boxes with quotations. But I've always liked the hokiness of a bubble with little dots indicating thoughts. I just enjoyed that. Was one of the things about comics I always thought was cool. I can read their mind, even though
Yeah.
I'm not psychic.
Yeah, well, we're just telling you we're showing you what they're thinking, and there's, the regular dialogue bubble, and then there's, the cloud bubble, which is for thinking.
Right. And if the cloud bubble has little lines popping out of it, it's usually a telepath. Very simple,
Yeah.
visual cues to what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, those were all created on the Marvel Comics and DC Comics that myself and many others grew up reading. I'm sure they came from other ones too, but the very fact that they're kind of been abandoned in modern day comics just makes me like so look at how bad the modern comics are.
Yeah, to me, although it's inner thoughts, if you will, to me, a dialogue bubble almost seems like or not dialogue bubble, dialogue caption thought
The box,
thing,
yeah.
caption box doing their inner dialogue. Seems more like a journal or something that they're writing.
I've always thought of it as a narrator, unless it's clear. Like I remember
Well,
in
yeah,
some of the Wolverine books, like he'd be, got up this morning and then it's a car and Ninja came through my window, so I killed him. Whatever the dialogue was. But you knew, okay, that's Wolverine talking to himself in his head, and they didn't
yeah,
necessarily use
no. What I'm just
there.
talking about is if they in the more modern ones, if you see a caption with the thoughts of somebody instead of just the narrator telling the story, to me it almost seems like the caption box with somebody's inner thoughts would be more like them writing out their stuff in a journal, their thoughts.
Right. Well, sometimes it actually is.
Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes yeah.
I don't know. I still always use a bubble box, for thoughts.
Yeah, same
Unless
here.
I get swept away from it, but I'm still into it. I'm like, nah, I'm not getting pushed out yet. Nobody's making me change my mind.
Yeah, I'm still going to be using the thought balloons, and I think most of our audiences would appreciate it.
Well, I think it might be something that the kids might like again, if they've been reading stuff without it. I don't know if manga uses thought balloons. Actually, I have
I think they do.
drive here. Let's see. Flip through this real quick.
Joey says, as long as we're not doing the Deadpool secondary inner voices in his head with alternating text boxes, we're good.
Hey, maximum effort.
So I'm flipping through this huge manga and not seeing any thought balloons.
Yeah, but you're probably not. How many caption boxes are you seeing either?
None. They're all dialogue boxes so far. Yep. There's a couple of narration boxes. Let's see. Yep, and those are actually representing his thoughts. So yeah, they apparently don't use it either. Although this was obviously scribed into English, so perhaps that was something that the English translators ended up doing. It's one of these Shokin Jump.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, it's got a large sample. I have more over there, but well, what the heck with it? I don't care if the Japanese use thought balloons. I do.
Yeah, it's something that you grew up with. That style.
Sorry,
that
Rick.
thing.
I just hit the wrong button and tossed you for half a second. Did you see that?
No.
Good. Okay. I did. I'm sorry. For like half a second, you were like blink, blink.
Oh, okay.
I
You
was
say
going to
something.
mute my camera and I accidentally removed you.
But yeah, you use them. But hey, I use them too. So I don't. I think I'd rather use the thought balloon. I used it a couple times in Canadian Shield 1. I think it is, and actually I think I used them a couple times in Canadian Shield 2 and probably Snowdrift 1. They're, you need them sometimes, There's one time that I put it in and that in going over it recently, number one, I was thinking, why did he think it in his head? He could have said it just as loud, as easy, nobody's around.
Well, I
But
just thought of something, and I've done this too. Even though I use thought balloons, if the character's like right there in the frame, when I've switched over and done like the where your dialogue extends into the next balloon, like for instance, Captain Aura might be saying to Peter, "Get in the truck," and then when you turn the page, the narration box would say, "We got to get out of here," and like there'll be a pan of like a countryside or something, and not a word. You know what I mean? Like I've done it that way too. And
yeah,
when he's not necessarily in the frame, I'll use a narration box, put quotations, and assume that the reader's going to catch on that that dialogue belongs with Captain Aura. And usually Diana
yeah,
gets it. I think everybody will, but
yeah. I've usually done. I think I might have done something similar. Well, as I'm switching over to another scene where you
yep,
catch the ending of his dialogue, in a caption thing.
absolutely. Sorry, I was bending over getting a cat. Oh, hello, buddy. Oh, these cats are like attacking me, so I just had to pick
Oh,
one up.
oh, and the one other time I know I did it for Canadian Shield is in issue 1, right near the end, is when he's going over the gospel story with Jack Eagles, the guy that he rescued. So I'm having images of the gospel story with the Canadian Shield narrating over it, I guess you
Right.
could say. But
Sorry, my
I'm giving images to the gospel story, so I figured, instead of just having the Canadian Shield there, this in a bubble, and him there, I figured it'd be better to show the
yep.
thing. And Joey says using dialogues in boxes when characters are not in frame is a
Well,
great use of the medium.
that was part of that review that Metals guy gave me, is that everything right with Melvin was also everything wrong with Melvin, and the fact that it over-explained certain things that it didn't need to.
Yeah.
So it's not always a good idea to say, "And the thing opened a box." We can see that.
Yeah, exactly. And that I think that's what Kirby. If it was Kirby, it might have been Ditko, but whoever it was, I think that's what they were expressing. It's like I took the time to draw that. And like is Stan saying he doesn't know what it is, or what's that?
And then you put this box over it.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah,
it?
exactly. It's like, well, that's a waste of his time. I can see the frustration as an artist. You came in, you threw a hypnosis at me or whatever. I can't pronounce that word. I never did get it right. And
Yeah.
hypnosis. And
But you should tell them. You tell them they get a free another comic, not the same one, Tim.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And with proof of purchase and an address, you get a free book. Well, they might think it's the same one.
Well, proof of purchase is to prove that you bought the book, and the address is for me to send it.
Yeah, yeah. But are they getting another Melvin One special free, or are they
No,
getting a different book?
they're
That's
getting
what
Zen.
what I was trying to get at.
Oh, well, they're getting Zen Odysseus #1 for free, and it's a 14-page book.
Cool.
But the point is, it's free. So who's going to turn down free?
Not too many people.
I'm trying to think of a snappy response for that, but I don't have one. It's too late. Who would turn down free? I'm like, well, I don't know.
Depends on what it's free up. What depends on what the catch is. What you're offering for free.
The majority of things that are offered free, which are within legal reasons, are stuff that people don't turn down.
like a free toxic waste bath. No, thank you.
No, that would fall under highly illegal according to certain environmental laws.
You mean like a pre-Pinto?
Pinto bean?
No, the
Now,
car.
although some
If you
people
get-
would say yes to this, a free ounce of weed, no, thank you.
I don't know. It
I mean,
depends.
couldn't you resell it?
Yeah, but I wouldn't really want to resell it either. Yeah, I could make some
Isn't it,
money.
is it illegal in Canada?
Probably
No,
not.
weed isn't illegal.
Yeah,
At
see, if
least to
it's
smoke.
not illegal, I might get it and just sell it like to the guy in the corner store or whatever. Yo,
Neither
you
is
want some
meth-
good
Neither
weed?
is meth pipes. You can get those out of
You
vending
too,
machines.
Outcast.
Oh, you too, bro.
Uh,
I know Diana
uh,
checked his site out or his YouTube page. She was talking about.
Cool.
I've been there before, but she was like, "Yeah, I went to see his page." I'm like, "Very cool."
If he does streams where he promotes books and stuff, he should get me on there.
I think he's looking for your channel.
Were
You can tell me
you-
to shut up or that. You can say, "Shut up,
Were you
Chris."
talking to Outcast the other night about getting on his channel? And
I was talking to
because-
somebody. I think it was the guy who hosts Drawn and Quartered.
no,
Okay.
I think it was Outcast about getting on his show because they're booking for June now or
Oh,
booking
yeah,
for
yeah,
April or what? Yeah.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I forgot about that. I should totally ask him up again.
Well, like I said, if you can find him on Twitter, just write him up there and say, "Hey, can you book me for?" Find out when you're available. And I think it's May or June or whatever. I know you said you're going away for a week or so there, or maybe longer, maybe less.
No, it's,
Find a way.
supposedly it's 5 days of time I'm not looking forward to.
Is there
Yeah.
going to be a bachelor party in Vegas?
No.
You don't have to worry about like the weekend of chaos.
Oh, shoot. So first of all, he's making us all wear pink shirts.
Ooh,
Shut up.
sounds
Good.
good.
You feel like a very nice guy.
I'm gonna come up to Canada and beat you unrecognizable.
No, honestly, it takes a real man to put on a pink shirt.
Oh bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, my pastor's worn a pink shirt before. Or
My
one of
condolences.
pastors.
My condolences, Chris. Rick. One of you.
And he was very much
That's
straight.
that's not even the worst part. So we're warned that some of them identify as non-binary, which means it's going to be hell to talk to those people.
It's going to be they. How are they doing? And they're going to be
Whatever.
like, you don't call me they. My name is Zick Six Mix Mix Mox.
Well, the question is, are they part of the wedding party or just part of guests?
They're friends of my little brother. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's that
Yeah,
shit.
so are they part of the wedding party?
I
Like,
don't
the
know.
other groomsmen?
I don't know. I don't know any of these people, Rick.
Okay. I just thought he might have told you. Your
He didn't
brother,
tell-
that is.
People don't tell me anything.
Well, for the most
Well,
part, I've had experiences, and most of them all the ones I've met have been, shy and unassuming, and kind of they fade back into the woodwork. Not that they're all that way, but maybe you'll get lucky, and they'll be as chill as you are. They don't want to make a scene any more than you do, and all that kind of jazz,
No,
well, you just find out the real name and do your best to remember to call them by their real name.
I want to avoid the hell out of them.
Yeah, well, and if you can do that even more so.
If you can avoid the hell out of them, you might be able to save them. Get it?
Yeah. And Joey said, my copy of Melvin is atop my pile to read. It's even above my beloved Hellblazer comics.
Excellent.
The trap is.
Excellent.
So, gentlemen, it's now way past my bedtime, but it's been a pleasure to hang out with everybody.
So it's time to say goodnight.
Because otherwise, you guys are going to be hosting and I'll be snoring. And I probably won't remember to mute. So it'll be like, you won't have any control. You'll be stuck here and you'll leave me here. And it'll be like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll wake up still streaming. Nobody else is here. Except for some weirdo in the chat who's posting weird links. No, they can't do that unless they have a wrench, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
as long as you've made it that way, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, it's that way. Yeah. You guys are privileged, man. I don't give that crap to everybody. Anybody in the chat that wants a wrench, let me know.
Also,
Podcast would
if you visit, he's got water on tap.
Yeah, water.
Water on tap all day, son.
It's free too. Free to you. I still have to pay 0.3 cents per like ounce or something like that. Look at that. Rick just gave me like a severe yawn there, bro.
Yeah.
He's like trying to put us down. All right. So for the record, Melvin is available on Walmart, Amazon, Barnes and Noble,
and Powell.
Say that one again?
Powell's.
I need to remember that.
It's available on towels.
No, Powell's, like Colin Powell's. So if I say Colin Powell's copy of Melvin, I'll remember Powell's.
It's available on towels and coal.
These fools.
Hey, just make sure you check out Hallmark before you go to bed. All right, I'm gonna play my song so I don't have to like give any speech. Do you have anything, Rick?
No, well, just go check out my stuff on my channel for the various things I put up.
And don't forget to talk to him about the music and tell him if you like the songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Joey, God bless you, brother. Because
you might want to do it too, Chris.
And
I do check it out. I just forget to say anything.
And demand that tree book that we've been asking for.
The what?
We'll just have to leave it for now.
Tree. That's Space Tree. The one that Canadian Shield threw up in the space.
We just have to leave it for now.
Oh, come on. Branch out, man.
What's up, what's down? Tell me something going round. Let's discuss the light of day. Spitting truth, come with me. What's up, what's down? Nothing's ever out of bounds. There has to be a better way. Always something of a better play. Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack Day, Hero Shack, baby things. Here Shack, hey, Hero Shack, yeah.